Yeah, back again. I've got everything put back together for the assembly for the gear that's right here and how it interacts with this. Everything's slid onto the unit. I just put the Gibs back in. Haven't adjusted it yet, but I thought I'd show you what I had to do to get everything working fine. Finally figured out that I could use this pivot on this assembly to help me. Turns out I didn't need to raise the dang thing up to 3/4 of an inch at all. I could have just unbolted it and pivoted on its pivot point like I have now and slid it right off. I have it in this position so I could clock the screw with the keyway and the gear assembly that's down here on the bottom. The only problem is when it's in this position, the handle wants to fall off, so I just put a pair of vice grips on the bottom to hold it there. What I wanted to show you is up underneath here. Basically, I slid this part onto its mating part, and then started turning the crank to engage the screw part of that shaft into the top assembly that turns when the crank goes around. Then I had to get the pin that I made, the key and the pin, lined up in the shaft right here. That's that part of the shaft. And so by tilting it up like this, I was able to look up underneath here. Let's see if you can show you. And you can see the pin in that brass side of that brass gear there. And it comes down and has to engage in that keyway. So what I did was I was able to see it, and when it got close, I turned this gear up here by hand as I was turning that handle and was able to get it clocked. When I made the key, I rounded it off a lot so that it would easily start into that shaft. And I found by turning a little bit on the shaft and turning the gear, I was able to get it to line up perfectly. And right now, it's just going and turning fine. Let me see if I can. I don't know how this is going to work. Hold it like this. And then when I turn the gear there, you can see it turns that shaft and it goes into there. So everything's back together. I'm going to spend a little bit of time working on the Gibs. There's the bottom adjustment screw for it, and see if I can make this thing almost perfect so that as it comes down it doesn't stick on the way there. I found that before I was having to tap it as it was coming down, and what I would do is I would just raise the clapper box up and let it tap against here, and I could watch it settle, sometimes 3/1000ths of an inch. So I'd like to eliminate that, and we will see if we can do that. Next step right now is to work with that gib a little bit, and I may wait till I just made it to the head there. Right now, when I turn this down, all I have to do is screw this up into position so that it's the right height to slide in there. In fact, I'll just start that right now. Looks like I've got to turn it a long way here. Take that off now. This is why I really wanted to do it the way I did by, basically I took the method that you use to take the head off of a Bridgeport mill, post clamping the head to the table. And the reason I did it was because the first time I attached this to the column, it took nearly 5 hours to get everything lined up right. This time I can use its crank handle here to align it and just turn this in place, and it should be going much easier. We'll see. I have to go up another couple of inches. This gear right here goes into this hole right here, and these bolts come up into position and line up in these 4 holes. You see that? So right now we're going to take a little safety toe clamp off of it. Luckily, these bolts stick out far enough where I can get them set up first before I have to engage the gear. A little bit more stronger than I thought. I have one lined up. really be nice would be a hand crank for this table, but everything there is hydraulic. There we go. How's that? Still shocked at how a machine that was built in 1943 has had virtually no bolts frozen or stuck. I mean, when we took it apart to bring it down to Texas, it was just like somebody had taken it apart a week before and everything was easy to do, and stuff doesn't happen to me that often.